Hey, this is Carter Conlon. Welcome to my morning. It's a good morning this morning. We had a service Tuesday night at Times Square Church. It was just amazing to see the response of young people in particular, young and old. And there was tears, there was dancing, there was clapping, there was shouting. It was wonderful. I had an opportunity to, for the second time, speak the message, an invitation to the second table. And God just did what God always does. When people start coming to freedom, the tears start flowing, the hands start clapping, the shouting begins. It was truly just an amazing time. If you get a chance, maybe you should go in and you should have a look at it yourself. Now, I want to tell you a story about a little while ago. I went into the barn and I was just going to do whatever I'm going to do in the stalls and clean them out and stuff. And my dog, Buggy, had cornered a little mouse. Like the little mouse in the stall was about half grown. It wasn't an adult. It was, probably like a teenage mouse. It was that way. And it was cornered in the corner and it had nowhere to go. And Buggy hadn't harmed it or anything. She just was barking at it nonstop. And it was so afraid that it was literally paralyzed with fear. It was shaking uncontrollably, absolutely paralyzed. And so I had gloves on. So I reached down, I picked it up in one hand. I went into the tack room, and with my other hand, I got a little handful of seed. And I went out into the field and I put it out in the field and I put the seed down beside it so it could eat something as it continues its journey. And I wish this little mouse well. Later on, I was telling my wife Teresa this, and she said, I told her I caught a mouse in the barn. She said, "What did you do with it?" I said, "Well, I got it some seed and I took it out and I let it go in the field." I told her, unless there's a reason to do otherwise, everything really has a right to live. And in my opinion. And so, she looked at me and she said, "That's why I love you." Isn't that amazing? And those words really stuck with me. That's why I love you. I wasn't always kind. In Proverbs 31, it says of the righteous bride that the law of kindness is in her mouth, in her lips. There's a law of kindness in her heart that comes out of her mouth, let's say. And we are the bride of Christ. So the law of God's kindness should be in us. And I thank God. He's given me a lot, more than I deserve over the years. But one of the things that he's given me that I'm just so thankful for is just the desire to be kind to people, to animals, to whatever, to things around me. There's no point in being otherwise in life. There's a law of kindness that's at work and should be at work in all of our hearts. Psalm 18, listen to what King David says. He said, "I will love you, my Lord and my strength." So that's the first thing out of his mouth. He says, "God, I love you." Now he goes on to tell the reasons why. And he was talking about a season in his life. He said, "The pangs of death surrounded me. Floods of ungodliness made me afraid. The sorrows of death, Sheol, surrounded me. The snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried out to my God. And he heard my voice from his temple, and my cry came before him, even unto his ears." And I guess if a mouse can cry, it was crying out. I couldn't hear it. It's probably so high pitched the human ear can't hear it. But in its mind, it was about to get eaten by a dog. And that's just the reality of it. And David was in a situation where he says, "I'm surrounded. I can't get out of this. And all I could do is cry out, 'God help me, God help me, God help me.'" And it says later on, it says, "Who is God except the Lord? And who's the rock except our God? It's God who arms me with strength, makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He sets me on high place." In other words, he takes me out of one place where I had no option but to cry out to him, and he puts me by his kindness in another place. He teaches my hands to war so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You've given me the shield of your salvation. Your right hand has held me up. It was in my right hand, actually. I picked up the mouse. And your gentleness hath made me great. David didn't say it. It was your strength to conquer Goliath. It was your power that came upon me to defeat a lion and a bear and such like. No, he said, it was your gentleness, God, that made me into the man that I am. I didn't deserve it, and none of us do. I didn't deserve your kindness. I was cornered by darkness. The devil had a firm grip on my life, and he had dictated my future to me. All I had left was a cry to you, and you reached down with your tender hand, you picked me up, and you put me in another place. It makes me to lie down in green pastures, the scripture says. You put me in a place where I couldn't have gone without the presence or the power of God. And David starts Psalm 18 by saying, I love you, Lord, my God and my strength. And my wife said to me, the fact that you were gentle with one of these little creatures causes me to love you even more. This is Carter Conlon. It's a fond memory in my heart this morning, and I love it. I love it when those who know you the best can say those words to you. Welcome to my morning. And once again, I hope that my morning will make your day.